Thanks so much for joining us. It is Friday, February 27th. Here's what we're working on this morning. There has been a shooting in Stony Creek after a car crash.
An arrest has been made in a 20-year-old cold case in Brantford.
This is a big game here tonight. Lundell sends it to the net. Here's Marchand, score! The Cats strike first.
And the Leafs' playoff hopes have taken a big hit after a loss to Florida. We have made it to Friday.
Yes.
Not quite as warm as I was expecting, Brian, when I stepped out the door this morning, but there is hope for later today.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get milder later on today. I know it's a chilly start to our morning, but actually we're around seasonal for an overnight low, which is now about -7 for seasonal. We're sitting at -8. So, yeah, it's a little on the chilly side this morning, but it's going to mild up so nicely, and we're going to see some sunshine. It's going to start out to be fairly cloudy this morning. Then the skies are going to clear, probably around the lunch hour, and we'll see a temperature of +6 for the day today. So temperature doing very well today. Tomorrow the temperature goes the wrong way. It's going to sink as the day goes on, and it's going to get quite cold as we continue through the latter part of the day tomorrow and into Sunday as well as we get into March. So temperature at the moment -8, wind chill about -13. So yeah, it is a chilly start. We've had no precipitation, so the roads are pretty good this morning. 403 Waterdown Road, our exclusive cameras doing okay so far today, so nothing there. We'll go to just a few MTO traffic cameras. We'll start in Stony Creek and come around. We're looking at the QEW at Millen Road. So on this shot, Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us. We'll check the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Same thing here. Toronto-bound away from us, heading down to North Shore Boulevard. And then we'll come further along the QEW through Burlington into Oakville, east of Bronte. Yeah, it's pretty light volume this morning, so not a lot to talk about so far. So we'll check weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. Hamilton police this morning investigating a shooting that happened last night in Stony Creek. It happened on the corner of Barton Street East and Jones Road just after 9:30. A witness told police 2 vehicles were in a crash that ended in gunfire, and the drivers of both vehicles took off toward Niagara. No one was hurt. The intersection was closed for a couple of hours while the police forensics unit processed the scene. Police are asking any other witnesses or anyone with camera footage to contact them.
A Brantford woman has been arrested after the death of her baby 20 years ago. The Baby Parker investigation started in July 2005 after the body of a baby boy was found on a walking trail. New DNA technology and advanced investigation techniques helped police identify the baby's mother. A 39-year-old woman has been charged with concealing the body of a child and indignity to a body. Her name has not been released.
3 people have been arrested in a drug bust in Brantford. Police seized nearly $114,000 in fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine in an investigation that started last month. 2 men and a woman from Brantford, all in their 30s, face trafficking charges.
A 40-year-old man from Port Colborne has been arrested in connection with multiple sexual assault charges. Niagara Regional Police say a man allegedly offered a ride to 2 teenagers near Thorold Road West and Rice Road between 1 and 6:30 on Wednesday morning. Police say Kyle Grodin was arrested after a tip from the public and has been charged with sexual assault, sexual interference, and invitation to sexual touching, along with failing to comply with a release order.
St. Catharines is celebrating a record-breaking year when it comes to building permits through the Housing Accelerator Fund. The city has approved more than 1,000 new dwelling units last year, surpassing its previous 9-year trend of over 500 units. Officials expect to approve another 500 units later this week. These permits were granted through the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation's Housing Accelerator Fund.
Halton Regional Police will not take part in the federal assault-style firearms buyback program. The Halton Police Board approved the decision, citing uncertainty about how the program would operate locally, the resources required, and enforcement expectations. Residents who want to surrender prohibited firearms can still do so safely through Halton's existing firearms and weapons amnesty program. Pickups can be arranged through the HRPS website.
More details of a planned amalgamation are expected this afternoon at the Niagara Region State of the Region lunch in Niagara Falls. It comes after a special meeting with regional politicians yesterday. The mayors of Fort Erie, West Lincoln, Port Colborne, and Niagara-on-the-Lake say Regional Chair Bob Gale's plan doesn't guarantee cost efficiencies and would reduce access to local officials. The mayors of Niagara Falls and St. Catharines support the merger, siding with Gale's reasoning.
I think we at least all agree that things are not working as efficiently as possible, and it's unsustainable and unfair to be bringing 25% tax increases over 4 years and a $2.7 billion backlog in infrastructure on the backs of the hard-working people of Niagara.
Bob Gale sent a letter to the province asking for municipal governance changes and a proposed merger to either one city or four in Niagara. Premier Doug Ford says it's up to local officials to decide. Mayor Matt Cisco has called a special meeting of St. Catharines City Council for Monday night to talk about the proposal. The non-news page for CHCH on Facebook has been taken offline by Meta. It comes at a time when misinformation, deep fakes, and artificially generated content designed to look like real news is flooding Facebook and Instagram. Their parent company, Meta, continues to block original, trusted Canadian journalism. So Canada's local independent TV stations, including ours, have formally asked the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, the CRTC, to force Meta to come to the bargaining table, as required under the Online News Act.
Google and Meta profit directly off of the news content that we do every day across the country. And while Google has come to an agreement of $100 million a year over 5 years that each of the legitimate news organizations in Canada can get access to, Meta has avoided that.
Local broadcasters from across Canada, including CHCH, Victoria's Check TV, and NTV in St. John's, say Meta's so-called news ban has removed legitimate, trusted news sources, and that's leaving space for copycat content, disinformation, and AI-generated material pretending to be news. Well, a contract has been awarded to build the new Ontario Science Centre. Premier Doug Ford says construction of it on Toronto's waterfront will be finished as early as 2029 at an estimated cost of over $1 billion. Among the features, the pods from the original 1971 Ontario Place complex will feature new science programming. The former Science Centre site was abruptly closed in 2024, with the province citing problems with the building's roof. A grad student at Brock University has received a grant for his research on how high blood pressure, diabetes, and a sedentary lifestyle can lead to dementia. PhD student Shakiro Alaka has earned one of 14 Heart and Stroke and Brain Canada Personnel Awards for Black scholars. He's using artificial intelligence in his pursuit to uncover the patterns and hidden connections between lifestyle and degenerative protein damage. Alaka says although there is no cure for Alzheimer's, he hopes that through his research, a preventative measure can be found. He's the first student from Brock to receive this award.
1 week away from the NHL trade deadline, and it looks like the Maple Leafs are going to be sellers after going 0 for 2 in the Sunshine State.
This is a big game here tonight. Lundell sends it to the net. Here's Marchand, score! The Cats strike first.
Brad Marchand scored twice, and Evan Rodriguez got the first shorthanded goal of his career as the Panthers trounced Toronto 5-1. Waterdown's Carter Verhaeghe also scored for Florida, who along with the Leafs are 8 points out of the final Eastern Conference wildcard playoff spot. Toronto's John Tavares scored on the power play for the third game in a row.
Matthew Schaefer down to the line. Curls, holds, shoots, scores! Matthew Schaefer, how does...
Hamilton's Matthew Schaefer scored twice to move past Hall of Famer Phil Housley for the most goals in NHL history by an 18-year-old defenseman in New York's 4-3 OT win over Montreal. Jean-Gabriel Pageau scored the winning goal in overtime, while Noah Dobson scored 2 goals for the Habs. In Dylan Larkin with 2 goals, including the overtime winner in Ottawa as the Red Wings edged the Senators 2-1. Captain Brady Tkachuk opened the scoring in the first period for Ottawa, who are 7 points out of a playoff spot. The Oilers blitzed the Kings 8-1 to stop their 4-game losing skid. Connor McDavid had a goal and an assist to record his 9th career 100-point season, while Leon Draisaitl had a goal and 3 helpers. 2 goals from Nazem Kadri propelled the Flames to a 4-1 win over San Jose. Dustin Wolf made 34 saves to improve to 10-2 against the Sharks. For the 3rd time, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has won the Bill Stirrup Award as Golden Horseshoe Athlete of the Year. Last year, the Hamilton Hoops megastar became just the 4th player in NBA history to win the scoring title, NBA championship, the MVP, and Finals MVP in the same season. Tennis phenom Victoria Mboko and Islanders rookie defenseman Matthew Schaefer are co-winners of the new Rising Star Award. The 19-year-old Mboko won 2 WTA tournaments last year, including the Canadian Championship. The 18-year-old Schaefer is the overwhelming favorite to win the Calder Trophy as the NHL's top rookie this season. Still with awards, Mohawk College's Maddie Anderson has been named the OCAA Women's Basketball Player of the Year. The 5th-year guard from Whitby averaged 15.6 points per game this season and earned All-Canadian and West Division Player of the Year honors. Mohawk's Mahai Raducanu was named the West Division Coach of the Year for the 2nd straight season after leading the Mountaineers to a 15-1 record and the West Division title. So yesterday we told you that veteran pitcher Max Scherzer has re-signed with the Blue Jays for the upcoming season. One person who is extremely happy is Mad Max's daughter. Brooke Scherzer wrote to the team in December saying, quote, "Dear Blue Jays, I'm so sorry that you didn't win the World Series. I hope that you win next time. I hope my dad is back on the team. My whole family loves spending time in Toronto with our dad. We love the aquarium, CN Tower, and of course, the stadium. I'm looking forward to coming back next season. Love, Max Scherzer's daughter." Scherzer is expected to join the Jays in Florida sometime this weekend. By the way, the Jays lost 8-7 to the Marlins in spring ball yesterday, and it sounds like Brooke Scherzer could be an agent in the future. Riley Patterson scored the only goal of the shootout to lead the Niagara Ice Dogs to a 5-4 win over Erie. In the PWHL, Montreal stumped the Sirens 4-1, and Stony Creek outlasted Wentworth 9-4 in the Allen Cup Hockey League.
All right, 6:12 is the time. I know you're in a rush to get going, but let's just take a second and savor Friday. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yep, let's get you into this Friday morning, 27th of February. Nothing happening on the roads. Pretty light volume so far. 403 and Waterdown Road. Nothing to see there. It's moving nicely. To St. Catharines. Let's start there. Here's the QEW in 7th. Pretty light volume all the way through the Niagara area. Millen Road, Stony Creek. 403 Junction heading toward Brant in the distance. All doing fine. Royal Windsor. And then we'll give you one more as we flip ahead a little further to Dixie. Nope, no problems through Mississauga at all. So let's get to our temperature. And actually, the temperature has just come up a degree. That's nice. We're now sitting at -7, which is a seasonal overnight low for this time of year. The winds have died off a fair bit, so we have a wind chill right now of -11, and the sky is mainly cloudy. Now for school today, we're going to see clearing conditions. So we'll have cloudy skies this morning, and then the sky will clear as the day progresses, and we're going to see some sunshine. And look at that temperature, +6 for the day today. So it's going to be a mild one. That ridge of high. Now as the high slides further to the east, behind it, you get that more southerly flow, and that's what pulls the temperature up. And we're going to enjoy that for the day today. And then tomorrow, that approaching cold front could trigger off some showers actually in the morning in a lot of areas like Hamilton. Other areas to the west and to the north of us could get some flurries with the instability from the cold front. But enjoy the mild temperatures today. Clearing skies, as I said. Temperatures for the Horseshoe around 6 degrees. A little cooler for Guelph and Kitchener at 5. Tonight, a lot of areas stay on the plus side. +2 to +1. Niagara Peninsula, Simcoe, Cayuga, Brantford. 0 into Halton, Peel, Toronto. Not much of a wind chill tonight. And then tomorrow, the temperatures will start off at 0 and then sink to these values later on, -1 to 0. Toronto's going to hit -6 by later in the afternoon, -8 for Guelph and Kitchener. So temperatures going the wrong way tomorrow, and we could get some showers, some areas, some flurries in the morning. So out the door, 27th of February, it is mostly cloudy. The winds are light, the temperature -7. Long range coming up. And that, Rick.
Okay, right after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily with a preview of what she has for us in Chit Chat. And in business news, StatsCan is set to report this morning on how our economy closed out last year. Good morning to Emily with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat.
Hi, good morning. We are getting a look at heated rivalry season 2.
Oh, here we go.
More of it shot in this area.
Yeah, it's incredible. K-pop sensation Blackpink, they've got a new album. It has been released today. And later on this morning, an airport in Florida has sparked a social media debate about proper travel attire.
And we're ready for the debate.
Yes, we are all ready for this one.
It's going to be so good.
Thanks, Emily.
Okay, checking the markets in overseas trading, our dollar is up more than 2/3 of a cent, trading at 73.15 cents U.S. Gold is down $3. Crude oil is up $1.24 to $66.43. Midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London, Frankfurt, down a bit in Paris.
In Asia, markets were up across the board, and on the North American markets, the TSX added 374 points yesterday. The Dow gained 17. The Nasdaq fell 273 points.
Statistics Canada is set to release its report this morning on how the economy wrapped up 2025. A Reuters poll of economists expects Canada's gross domestic product was a bit flat in the fourth quarter. Last month, StatCan said initial estimates showed GDP up 0.1% in December because of weak manufacturing. Some economists caution that monthly GDP numbers don't always reflect, though, big swings in trade, and the fourth quarter data may end up a little bit stronger than expected.
A different kind of electric company is now headquartered in Milton. Schneider Electric doesn't make energy. It helps businesses save it. The company connects and powers machines to talk to each other and to people. It also helps make buildings more sustainable and homes smarter. Schneider Electric's new Milton site consolidates offices from Cambridge and Mississauga. The move is expected to add more jobs to their 400-person workforce.
Canada's population growth is expected to stay pretty much the same this year. The Parliamentary Budget Officer says it's mainly because of cuts in non-permanent resident admissions. It projects the government's going to hit its goal of reducing non-permanent residents from 7.6% of our total population in 2024 to 5% by the end of next year. That's a year later than originally planned.
Netflix is walking away from its bid to buy Warner Brothers' Discovery Studio and streaming business, clearing a potential path for Paramount to take over its longtime Hollywood rival. Warner's board says a new offer from Skydance-backed Paramount is superior to the agreement it had previously reached with Netflix. In response, Netflix says matching the higher price would no longer be financially attractive. Unlike Netflix's bids, Paramount is seeking all of Warner's assets, including cable networks such as CNN and Discovery. The deal would place CNN alongside Paramount's CBS and combine two of the last major Hollywood studios under one roof.
Artificial intelligence is creating some problems for the smartphone industry. That's because there's a global shortage of memory chips driven by AI demand. As manufacturers prioritize these components for AI applications, fewer of the chips are available for things like smartphones, laptops, and gaming consoles. The shortage is expected to push some phone makers out of business, and it will drive smartphone prices higher. The average cost of a smartphone is expected to rise around 14% this year, and sales this year are expected to fall to levels not seen in more than a decade. It's interesting because my husband and I had a discussion last night, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to hang on to my phone for a little while.
Yeah. As the prices go up, people are going to be pulling back. Taking a break right now. Brian is going to be back with your traffic update and 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
Welcome to this Friday, the 27th of February, coming up on 6:24. Traffic this morning is really light, and we have no problems whatsoever. QEW east of Lake camera, that's in St. Catharines. Nothing there. Top of the Skyway still rolling nicely. Same with east of Brodie, Toronto bound towards us on that one. Same here at Sheraton, going through Mississauga, and we'll dip into the 403. Dundas up from the Ford plant. Ooh, a little pink in the sky in the distance. Oh, that bodes well. Yay. Sunrise getting earlier. Check that in a second. All right, let's check what we have right now as far as temperatures are concerned. We are sitting at a seasonal overnight low right now, -7. Bit of a wind chill, about -11, but that's, as I say, seasonal. So -5 as you head through Mississauga, -4 Grimsby and for Toronto. Seasonal temperatures now this time of year are +1 for the daytime high, -7 for the overnight low. Ooh, look at the sun time. Sun up 7 o'clock this morning, getting earlier all the time, and 6:06 it'll go down. And we're going to see some sun for the day today. It'll start off to be fairly cloudy. Temperature by 9 o'clock this morning for school should be about -2, and then we're looking at +6 and sunshine for later on today. So the long range forecast today, 6 degrees, skies will clear, and then we're looking at +2 for tonight. Some areas could get some flurries. Showers early in the day tomorrow are quite possible. And then tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, but the temperatures are going to drop as the day goes on. Hamilton will hit -5, will went to -10 later on. Okay, March. In like a lamb or a lion? Looks like a lion. We're going to get some snow on Sunday as we get into March. Temperature -3. Colder for Monday, sunshine at -5. And then we'll climb plus side for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's your forecast. Annette, right?
Okay. This week you were a judge at Hamilton Soup Fest. Well, imagine being a judge at this competition in Paris where you get to sample more than 100 baguettes. I am all in.
Yes. The annual contest awards €4,000, about $6,400 Canadian, to the winner, who also traditionally supplies the French president's office with baguettes. Bakers are judged on appearance, baking quality, aroma, taste, and the bread's crumb. While they all use the classic mix of flour, water, salt, and yeast, each baker adds their own unique touch. Of the 143 baguettes entered this year, 29 were actually disqualified for exceeding length or weight limits.
Oh, I will take any of those rejects.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure they're so delicious anyways.
Love a good baguette. Slap some butter on there.
Yeah, or have it with cheese,
Have it with
a little ham.
cheese.
Oh, it's so good.
I know what I'm having for breakfast
Okay,
now.
we're already hungry and it's only 6:30.
Stay with us. More to come after the break on Morning Live. Good morning.
Nice.
That's amazing.